But I think so often for us as leaders, what's even more important is being clear on the next right thing to do. So doing a pain audit can be so helpful. I do them from time to time, and I have always found it revelatory in terms of what's working, what shifts I need to make, and the type of support that I need. So here's the question. In a world where the rules of business have been written by men, how do women entrepreneurs like us, women who want to make millions of dollars and impact millions of lives, how do we create enormous success on our terms? That's the question, and this show explores the answers. Welcome to Power Presence Position. I'm your host, Eleanor Beaton, and I'm on a mission to double the number of women entrepreneurs who generate over $1 million per year in annual revenue. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur, author, and leadership coach. I'm a wife, mom of 2 boys, and I'm the CEO of a 7-figure business. Stick around because on this show, you'll learn how to think, communicate, and get paid like a 7-figure CEO. Let's go. Hey, it's Eleanor. Welcome back to the show. If you have listened to previous episodes of the Power Presence Position podcast, then you know that sufficiency, that sense of I'm enough, you're enough, there is enough, is one of my core values as a human, and it's also one of the core values that guides the growth of my company, Safi Media. I think that so often as entrepreneurs, we are raised in this culture that more is better, that we have to kind of hustle and grind. And I'm not about that life. But the flip side of that is that as a founder, there are definitely times where you're going to need to put in the work. The problem is if that becomes the norm and you're never able to replenish yourself. So that's the real problem. But there is definitely times when you're going to need to put in some work. There's definitely times where things are going to feel hard. There's definitely times when you need some grit. So will be the first person to tell you that there's times in your business where you're going to need to suck it up. And I think any mature entrepreneur realizes this, but there's a downside or a dark side to the grit that you need to have if you're a founder. And that is that sometimes when we don't pay attention to our pain, we actually curb the growth of our business. So on the one hand, sometimes we need to suck it up here and there, put in the work, get it done. That's not how we want to lead. We don't want that to be the norm. Otherwise, you get totally burnt out. I have lived that life. It is not worth it. But we do need to, there are going to be times where you need to suck it up, put in the work, do some hard things, and get some rest and recuperation after you've completed what it is that you need to complete. And so we do that from time to time, and you start to build up this grit and resilience. And in those moments, you are very used to putting aside, immediate gratification or instant gratification for long-term growth and goals. The challenge is that we become a little bit immune to our pain, a little bit immune to the things that are bothering us, a little bit immune to challenges. And the reason that this can curb our growth is because I have found that most of us are really tremendous leaders and we won't scale a business that is inherently unscalable. I can remember this guy, Dan Martell, who works with SaaS founders, saying that entrepreneurs don't grow into pain. And it's so true that if there are things that are creating pain for you in your business, then it's really important to set aside time to identify what those things are and find a way to mitigate them, to get support with them, or so on. So I'll give you an example. If you are finding that you are slow to respond to sales opportunities, that would be something that you would want to write down and really investigate. Why is that? Is it because the thing that you're selling is unscalable? Or is it because then you'll have all this follow-up? In either case, your pain opens the door to the next right step for you in your company. So the tool that I wanted to introduce today is a tool I'm very familiar with, and it's called the Pain Audit. And we're releasing this during what many people will be using as a time for sort of holiday and reflection. And so I really encourage you to open up a notebook, put at the top the Pain Audit, and start Like, get yourself into a very petty mindset. So take all of that fabulous resilience and grit that is just such a hallmark of who you are and just set it aside. Be like, listen, grit, listen, gritty leader, you're amazing and we're going to get back to you. But right now, I need my pettiest, most vulnerable, pickiest, least resilient version of myself to really open up and be honest and feel safe to share all the things that she is in pain about with respect to the business. It could be certain types of clients. It could be certain type of work that you're doing, things that you're constantly procrastinating on, things that you are constantly worrying about. Put all the pain down onto a page and then just kind of have that list and then keep adding to it. Don't worry that the list is long. Trust me, it's long for all of us. And keep looking at it and then start to ask yourself questions. What does this pain audit, what insights am I getting from this? What is this revealing to me? Where might I need help so that I'm not trying to grow my business from a place of pain? Is there anything here that I could just cut out of my business? And if I don't want to cut it out of my business, who could I have? How can I simplify this? Who could I have to help me with this? This is so key because I think, and I think the sort of sales follow-up one is a great example. If, for instance, you're great at closing sales, but you don't like the follow-up, and the what's going to happen is you are going to unwittingly look for opportunities to avoid doing sales consults, or you might be slow to respond. This is not good for your business. And rather than just cutting that out, there's a great opportunity to lean into that pain audit and say, okay, here's an opportunity for me to get more help. Here's the next right thing to do to grow my business. I know at this time of year, so many people are really making big, elaborate plans. And planning is great, but I think so often for us as leaders, what's even more important is being clear on the next right thing to do. So doing a pain audit can be so helpful. I do them from time to time, and I have always found it revelatory in terms of what's working, what shifts I need to make, and the type of support that I need. So I hope you find this tool really useful. The pain audit, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It really is all about making explicit some of the pain that you might be burying because you're so gritty and resilient, but just really kind of identifying that, getting it out of your head and consciousness and onto the page, and just kind of gently, not forcing yourself to do anything, just kind of sitting with it. And you'll find that inner genius that you have really starts to reveal the next steps to lead you forward. I hope this was useful to you, more of a free-flowing kind of episode than I usually have on the show, but I just was thinking about this for you, and I was like, this tool has been so useful for me. I really wanted to share it with you. I hope you found this beneficial. If you like the show, if the show has brought you value, if it's been useful to you this year, I'd so appreciate it if you would share it on social, tag me, if you would subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast player and rate and review it. It really helps us get our work out into the hands of founders like you who would find what we have to say and teach and offer useful. All right, have a beautiful week, everybody. Talk to you soon. If you love this show, then you will love even more my missives, i.e. my emails. If you're not on my email list yet, I strongly encourage you to sign up at eleanorbeaton.com/join. Now, when you go and sign up for my email list, you will quickly discover why some of the most popular, well-known, and influential voices in the world of women's entrepreneurship quietly, studiously, consistently open every single email I send out because they want to be inspired, they want to be entertained, and also I think they really want to connect with a woman like myself who's in full command of her voice and is willing to open up and share her thinking, her ideas, and her story. I promise you that on this email list, you are going to be entertained. You are going to hear really valuable tips about stepping into your power as a leader. And you're also going to get fun insight that I do not share anywhere else. Go to eleanorbeaton.com/join. And I promise you it will be the highlight of your inbox.